Let's go.
Allow me to pose a question. God, you know it's gonna be bad when I start pulling the voices from my head out into real life. So, my mom specifically told me when I came to Korea that there was one thing in particular that she said I was not supposed to do, I was not allowed to do. Do you think I listened to my mother? I listened to her, I heard her, but do you think I obeyed her? Absolutely not. I'm going to introduce you and show you what it is she told me I wasn't supposed to do and what I did anyway. I made a conscious decision not to listen to what she said. So, I'm going to introduce you to the thing that I wasn't supposed to do. Let me see what I can do to introduce you to this lack of judgment. Let me show you what I did. Let me introduce you to Oliver. Look up. How's my baby? He's purring. Oh, okay, all right, okay. This is Oliver. He doesn't like to be held like this. Okay. Look at him. How dare you? He does want the brush though. So this is Oliver. Hi, good boy. Hi, good boy. So Oliver loves the brush. So yeah, I didn't listen to my mom. My mom specifically told me, do not get a pet. And I was like, okay. I didn't listen. Yeah, so mom was like, hey, don't get a cat. So me, being me, I decided, challenge accepted. So here he is, my little Ollie Wally. His name is Oliver. I call him Ollie Wally, or my little Ollie Wog, my little Polly Ollie Wally Wog. So I got him. I had been considering getting a pet just because I live by myself and it gets kind of lonely. I live out in the boonies. There's one other foreigner who I rarely see, and I was like, you know what? It would just be nice to come home to someone who is actually excited to see me, and but I was like, okay, I'm going on vacation in the States for a few weeks, so I don't think I'm gonna get a pet yet. We'll do something about it when I come back. I got a cat. So yeah, I adopted him from a lady. I was looking online, and there's a website, a page for expats who live in Korea, and one girl posted she had an elderly cat and she had him for a few months. Ooh, okay, he's over it. And don't you eat my headphones, boy. Ugh. But so she had him for a while, and she decided that he wasn't getting along with her elderly cat. And honestly, I don't really think she introduced him to the cat well enough, which is probably why they didn't get along. Also, I mean, he was a kitten when they got him, or when they found him, and bringing a kitten into a house with an elderly cat just really isn't a great idea, just because of the energy difference. So she posted online, she says, well, I'm not going to put him in a shelter. I'm just going to throw him onto the street. I'm just going to leave him in the streets. And it is, I don't know if you know this, so those of you who live in Korea do know this, winters here are ridiculous. They're the worst. They're freezing, and like, if you leave a person outside long enough, you could freeze to death. It's not fun. You could die. So she's gonna leave this kitten, my little Oliver, she's gonna leave him on the street. I'm like, ma'am, no. So I even messaged her. I was like, yo, why don't you just put him in a shelter? She says, well, they'll probably kill him on sight, which is true for some shelters, but not all of them. I mean, at least put him in a shelter and give him a chance, for someone to see him instead of just leaving him in the streets to die in the cold. So I was like, listen, no one was deciding to take him, and he was cute as a button, so I was like, you know what? My little heartstrings, they got tugged, so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take this cat. So I messaged her, went on to meet her. Man, when I tell you this lady was tap dancing on my last freaking nerve. We had a time. First of all, she didn't want to commute to drop this cat off, even though she claimed, oh my god, I love him and I want the best for him, but she's going to leave him in the streets, and she refuses to commute to meet this new adopter who's going to give this cat she supposedly loves a new home. So I had to figure out how to get there, so I took 2 KTX trains. It took a minute to get there. So I told her, listen, I have a specific train that I have to catch to get back, because it was a Sunday. I work early on Monday mornings every week. You know, I'm a teacher. I have to be there from the beginning of the day all the way to the end. So I was like, listen, I'm catching a certain train, and if you're not there by then, I can't take this cat. Please don't leave him on the street. Find someone else, you know. So she says, no, don't worry. It's not a problem. So she shows up almost 45 minutes late to get this cat. I have 15 minutes maybe to catch my train, which, you know, is not always easy, especially when you're carrying a cat and a bag full of stuff for the cat. So she arrives hella late. Keeps telling me, oh, we just pulled up. We just pulled up. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stop lying to me. Just tell me if you're going to be here or not. So I ended up finally getting him, and he was nervous the first night, but he got over it pretty quick. He's a pretty lovable dude. He just had playtime, so he's still a little feisty. But hello, where you going? You want to say hi? But, yeah, she's just gonna leave this kitten on the streets. I guess when she found him as a kitten, he was injured and had to go through like a lot of stuff, because I confronted her about it. I was like, yo, you didn't tell me he didn't have a toe. So I guess the injury he had when they found him had to do with his toe, so they took his toe off. He's just fine without it, but you know, tell me what I'm getting. But I love him anyway. He's so cute, and he's sweet as pie. But yeah, she wasn't very forthcoming about him. She claimed to really, really love this cat, but she's going to leave him on the street in winter to freeze to death, not even giving the chance to, you know, to have someone see him in a shelter or something. So I was enraged by that. Just, if you're going to adopt a cat, don't just dump it. You know, when you adopt a pet, it's part of your family now. You don't just get to dump it anywhere you want. That's not how this works. So I have him. He eats really well. He's gained weight since I got him, which is good. But he's, you know, he's active. He's sweet. He wants attention. He's very curious. He's broken a couple things already. I figured. He's very much so a cat in that, like, he sees something near the edge of a counter, and in his mind, in his kitty mind, that means knock it off the counter. So now I gotta, where you going, bud? Oh, under the bed. But yeah, so I personally, for those of you who are considering adopting a cat or a dog in Korea, it really does depend on where you adopt your animal from, but usually private adoptions like this, typically the price is kind of set at 50,000 won. Sometimes people will just say, hey, I need to get this animal a new home, and they'll give them to you for free. Yay, great. Sometimes it'll be 30,000 won. Like I said, most of the time, from my experience, it's 50,000 won. So I paid 50,000 won for him. She also gave me his litter box, some toys, some cat food, and some litter just to start him off. By some toys, I mean one. And like maybe a little fish. They have these little fish catnip things. I bought him one too, and I have some toys, and I got him a bunch of stuff, a new carrier and everything, because the carrier she gave me was not in great condition. But yeah, so I adopted him. He is my little baby. I am moving to Seoul early 2020 in March. Well, actually probably February now that I think about it. But I am moving, and I told my new job, I'm like, yo, this apartment needs to allow animals because I have a cat, and worst case scenario, I was told that if this new apartment owner doesn't allow cats, that this school will find me a new apartment, which is great because I'm not getting rid of him. He's mine. I'll pay an extra fee or whatever, but he's my kitty. I love him. You know, when you adopt a pet, it is your pet, and it all depends on you. There's no one else you can say, hey, feed the cat, or, you know, refill the water, or play with it. So it's on you. So I decided, you know what, I am gonna adopt a cat. Sorry, Mom. Not really. But yeah, so I'm happy. He's really sweet. He's made it really nice for me to come home and have, you know, a cute little face. He was excited to see me. And he actually is excited, and he's very vocal, and he'll let me know, like, hey, it's Oliver attention time. Ollie wants attention. So, yeah, he's... What are you doing? You dum-dum. He's so cute. But yeah, so the one thing my mom told me not to do, I did. So Mom, Dad, Tyler already knows. Tyler has been in cahoots with me. He knows about Mr. Oliver. We already had a conversation. I asked him, you know, Tyler's my brother, by the way. I already asked him, you know, what his advice on raising a kitty is, because he and his girlfriend adopted a cat together, and I was like, yo, I got a cat. So Tyler knows, Mom, Dad, sorry. But yeah, so I already have him. I'm not getting rid of him. Love you. So yeah, this video is basically me walking you through the day that I got him, and breaking the news to Mom and Dad. So I'm currently on the train at KTX to go pick up my cat. This guy's yelling, but I'm gonna go pick up this cat, and I'm gonna name him Oliver. But I have to take a KTX. I have to take like 2 KTXs to do this, so that's what we're gonna do right now. So you should see the looks on these workers' faces, like, why is this white woman filming? Because I do what I want. Okay. But yeah, so I got on the train. We're gonna go pick up my kitty. Okay, so now I'm at the station. I'm picking up Oliver. So now I just have to wait for like 30 minutes. I have to wait for like 30 minutes for the lady to come give me my new kitty. I have bags and stuff ready to carry all of the supplies, but I'm excited. Alright y'all, it's almost time for my kitty. I'm just sitting and waiting. It's like the beginning of winter now, so it's a little cold in here because there's exits that way and that way. But yeah, so I'm just patiently waiting. Apparently, the current owner is having problems getting the cat into the carrier. So it's good to know that my soon-to-be little Oliver is funky. That'll be fun. But yeah, we're just waiting. Alright you guys, it's kitty time. The owner just got here, so she's gonna come meet me. Kitty. Listen, this lady is on my last nerve. She was supposed to show up at 8:50 and it's now almost 9:30. So I told her, yo, like, if you don't show up, I'm not gonna be able to take the cat. So I told her she has to get here. I feel bad for the cat, but like, dude, I have work tomorrow. It's really late. I came far. I don't live anywhere near here, so. Ugh. He's in there. Hi, handsome boy. It's stressful. Okay, tools, cat. Guys, I have Oliver. He's in here. I don't really think you can see him, but he's in there. Apparently he had like a little accident before he came here. He had to go potty. So his smell is gonna be a little much until we get home. But yeah, successful pickup. And I'm gonna make my train, so fingers crossed he'll be okay. She gave me some toys, and there's a litter box, and some food, and some sand, and a bowl, so hopefully he'll be okay. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we are home. Let's let Oliver out. Hi, handsome boy. So, update, little Oliver's home, but he's hiding in the corner. Obviously he's nervous. There's a lot of movement in his crate, and you know, it was a lot. So we're just gonna, you know, give him some time to figure out what he wants to do, and hopefully he'll calm down soon. I'm gonna be at work all day tomorrow, so I'm leaving food and water out for him. He'll have some time to, you know, explore the place on his own, hopefully not destroy anything. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting road, little life journey for Mr. Oliver and I. So, sorry, Ollie Wally. I know it's scary. He's over there in the corner. I'll show you. So, little Oliver, aka Ollie Wally, is over there on a box. He's slow blinking, so he's comfortable. He's just, you know, not sure about me. He was sitting, that little black box, ooh, and the headphones were under him initially, and the mirror. So I moved him so he'd be comfortable, but he sunk into the box, sort of. So he feels a little uncomfortable, but we'll get through it together, okay, bud? Don't fall asleep there. You're gonna fall into the box. Oh, poor baby. It's been a lot. He's a good boy. Okay, so His Highness pulled off one of my keys from my keyboard. So now I get the pleasure of trying to find the key so I can put it back. Oh, I also have to cover all my makeup brushes because he, in true cat fashion, likes to knock them off of my counter. This little brat right here has a key somewhere. So now I get the absolute pleasure of trying to hunt down this missing key that Mr. Oliver here decided to pull off my keyboard. Okay. Excuse me, sir. I just found the key that you knocked off or pulled off, and now you wanna, oh, you like my pile of laundry? Excuse you? Get your tail out of the camera. What are you doing? No, I'm fixing your toy. There's super glue in there. You pulled it off when I was trying to train you on your cat carrier. Sir? Is it possible for you to not?
Let's go!